going to show up anyway.
Who cares?
Good point. Who cares?
Who cares?
We'll
go live if nobody shows up in 2 minutes. And, hey, you know what? Never mind. See you guys later.
Click here for
I was here. Fuck you. You missed me.
Info, viewer counts. Okay, we're streaming.
Okay,
well, let's check the. I'll check the website and just see that it's actually working. Oh, there you go.
We're live.
We're live.
Look at that. I love having it. Yeah, I love on the phone. Hello.
Yep, I got a notification as well. We are live. Dave and Dave's Hangout. Hey, that's us.
That would be you and me. Yeah. Come on. Now.
Hello, everybody. It's a Labor Day weekend. You know, no one may show up on Labor Day weekends.
People might have a life.
They may have something they need to do.
People may have more of a life than coming out here to Connecticut and rewiring the goddamn stack of
that's true.
hardware.
Let's see
again.
Let's see if anybody shows up here.
3 so far.
Could that be you and me?
Well,
that's
no,
1 and 2.
Could be. That could be
on the phone.
I don't know. I know I'm in there. So
let's just see if anybody is here.
I don't know. Hi. Post.
Let me. Will it come up? It should come up.
Yeah, it's like everything's lags. Freaking everything's lag now. You know.
There it goes. So there we got to.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
yeah,
so
hi.
That's the YouTube thing.
Yep. Let's see.
Let's see if anybody shows up.
4
Malcolm!
Viewers. Hey, there's somebody here now. Somebody came in.
Malcolm did.
Somebody hit the like button. Did you hit the like button?
No, but
I didn't hit the like button.
Hey, somebody likes us.
Wow.
Hey, Malcolm, how's it going, buddy?
Imagine that. Somebody actually likes us. That's freaking terrifying.
You're home on the holiday weekend. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Malcolm Palm. We got eLogic 718. Hello, eLogic 718.
Hello.
He called us gentlemen.
Nice.
Like I don't know those.
Watch
guys.
your mouth, young man.
I don't know who those people are. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. We haven't done a live stream in a while, and forgive us if the camera's slightly out of focus.
We can't get it to focus. It's just
we got it close.
Listen, it doesn't want to look. It doesn't want to focus on my face. It's fine. I don't care.
It's okay.
I don't care.
Malcolm hit the like button. Thank you, Malcolm.
Thanks, Malcolm. So did I, for that matter. I gave us one too because I like it. Whatever.
So we were here working, and we figured we would do a just do a live stream because Dave doesn't come up as frequently as we'd like, and when he's here, we like to do live streams.
Yeah, because in all honesty, we don't have to freaking rewire the rack that much anymore.
No, but we did that all today.
That's what I'm good for here. I'm good for rewiring the rack.
He's a good rewire guy.
That's what I do. I rewire the rack.
He's a rewire guy.
Dave calls it. I need to rewire the rack.
Again.
In the car. I'm coming. You know.
So we thought we'd hang out, see if anybody's around on the holiday weekend, and if you guys want to chat, we haven't did a live stream in a bit. There's all kinds of new stuff coming out, new kinds of gear. What do you guys want to talk about?
All kinds of wacky shit happening on the interwebs. Yeah, you know. I mean, hey,
you want to talk about anything audio gear related, studio related,
or whatever,
and such? Just
or whatever.
Just say the word, and we're here.
Yep. So
let us know what you're working on in your studios. Let us know what you guys are up to.
We were rewiring a rack.
We were rewiring a rack.
Again.
Just tidying up.
Yeah, but you moved some equipment around again.
Moved a little bit of equipment around, tidying it up.
You sold a couple redundant pieces.
Moved
some stuff around. We needed to make the wiring a little more logical because there were at least 2 DB25 cables back there that didn't have fully connected to it.
Yeah, one of the posts was missing.
No, but you've got like breakout cables with 2 or 4 empty ends on them, and it's like, well, if we can conglomerate all of these into one cable.
Yeah.
So we actually ended up with 10 empty channels on the flock now.
Yeah, we got a lot of empty channels on the flock.
So you could add 10 more channels to the flock if something came along.
Yep.
Or whatever, but there's also 2 less cables plugged in back there now.
Because, 2 less cable, a couple less power cables.
Yep, and it got neatened up.
A little bit more neat and tidy.
Yeah, got neat and tidy.
Which is always nice.
Because honestly, cable management is...
It's a pain.
It's a pain in the ass, but it's so underrated.
Yeah, and we've gone through several iterations of doing different cable management projects here.
Yeah, we've tried several different cable management solutions over time.
Yep.
And it's just like, no matter what you do, it's a rat's nest.
You have this much equipment. It is.
You can't. I mean, even less. It's always a rat's nest.
Yeah. Well, you want. Yeah.
My studio is a lot smaller than this, and it's a rat's nest.
Yeah.
You know, it's just what it is.
Cables are.
So the idea is to keep it not so much like you're going to have the rat's nest.
Yep.
But what you want to do is you don't want to have it all tangled.
Right.
Which is what we had back there today. Is like we had a lot of tangled cables and
Yeah.
stuff back there. So it's like I had to untangle all of that, pull it all out, and then route it all back in a lot cleaner now, you know. So like I said, it needed to be done, you know.
Yeah, because as gear will start coming in and out, you know, you just bring a piece of gear, you just patch it into 2 empty cables, and you don't bother to go through the process. And after you've done that a bunch of times over 6 months, then you go back there and you go, oh, I got all these extensions and cables.
You pull a piece out, and those two are just kind of sitting back there, but they don't get plugged into something else. And then next thing you know, like I say, it's all knotted together. There's empty, there's blank ends hanging here, and here.
Yeah.
It's like unfortunately, that's just in the evolution of a studio.
Yeah,
that's just part of it. It's always everything. You know, the law of entropy. Everything wants to go to chaos. So you know, and owning a studio is a really good exercise in the law of entropy. Everything wants to go to chaos back there. You know.
And so every so often you just need to go back there and disconnect, reconnect.
Yeah.
Take all the cables out you don't need.
Yep.
Reroute things just to make it look a little bit neater and tidy. Relabel things where appropriate. Well, the other thing we didn't do.
Yeah, we got really lazy last time and did not relabel the cables.
We didn't relabel stuff when we put the flock in. It was still labeled the way the Switchcraft's patch bays were in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now we took all the labels off all the cables, relabeled everything where appropriate. Drew a matrix out on paper that I'll eventually type up.
Well, yeah, because he is anal, people. I mean, like, you gotta understand, I'm anal about a lot of things too. David is freaking.
I got charts and books.
He is anal, okay? I mean, you know.
I got charts and books.
We got charts and books and pages and spreadsheets and.
So I know where every cable is, where it plugs into, and where it's supposed to go.
Which is really the way it should be. Yeah. Honestly.
Well, when you're trying to. Yeah. When you're trying to do that.
Okay, well, let's address Malcolm Palm, because we were talking about that today.
Yeah, the flock has been working great. It's great, man.
We were basically discussing, like, at what level of priority would you put the flock audio compared to the rest of the hardware in the system? And basically, I think I said it before you did, but the flock audio is at the same level as the Trinoff room correction as far as like utility value in the studio.
Yep.
To the point where the exorbitant purchase price
it's expensive.
Is easily justifiable when you consider the level of utility that you're getting out of that particular unit.
Yeah, and that particular unit you use on every single mix. Whereas the Trinoff, just, you set it up and kind of set it and forget it. It just kind of sits there.
But it's always on. It's always there. It's always in your thing. So every time, no matter what you do in this studio, the Trinoff is active, even though you're not interacting with it. Whereas the flock is something you're interacting with all the time.
Every day.
But for the impact that those units have on your workflow, your results, everything else.
Massive.
So as I say, so you put the Trinoff and the flock basically at the same level of utility in the room. And
they just do different things.
Yeah, to the point where, like I say, it justifies the expense of the unit.
Yeah, you don't realize you get spoiled. So in other words, that again, the flock, as people may or may not know, there's different systems, right? So you have a system with fewer ins and outs, which is
they have
way
like
more,
a 16 by 16 matrix and all the way up to this thing.
Yeah, and then this thing is the most expensive with the most inputs and outputs.
Yep.
But once at first you think, oh, it's cool, it's a novelty. And it's cool to swap things in and out, and you don't really appreciate the amount of time savings until you work with it on a lot of mixes. Then you realize, wow, it probably easily takes 25% out of the time of mixing a record.
I have to say more.
And you are more, you experiment more with the gear faster because you don't, when you're doing it manually, you patch in something.
Yes.
And then once you get about a third of the way through the mix and you got a ton of the patch cables in your face and it's all like spaghetti.
Yeah, you got the rat's nest in the front of the rack now.
Yeah, and then you go, oh, I want to try something different. And then you look at that rack and you just go, oh man,
I don't even want to touch that.
I don't want to touch it, know?
Yeah.
So, but with the flock, because there's no cabling involved, it's all done through the app. To just, you did it today, just dragging stuff in and out is just like that. It's like working with plugins.
It's actually sickening how nice it is.
So you end up a lot more free to experiment with stuff. It's fast, and then the other piece is it's, again, when you're dealing analog, recallability is always an issue. It's 100% recallable. There's nothing to write down. There's no there's no patch points to write down.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
And now that they have that second app up there that loads your
bridge.
You slave the bridge program, so that now you slave your preset to your mix.
Yes.
So that when you call up your mix,
it pops
the
right
template's already in place and ready to roll.
All pops up and all your patch points are there.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So that's 100% recallability with no touch.
No touch.
That's no touch recallable.
No touch recallable. The only thing you would have to touch is if you change any of the settings on the gear. Certainly that still doesn't go away.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, it's great. You don't realize how great it is until you work with it a while. Then you go, I can't imagine going back to a manual patch bay.
And it's like, and I honestly, I have to say, I don't know how long that thing's been in here.
I gotta say 6 months.
But we have not.
Hasn't been turned off once.
But we also have not lost our enthusiasm for it.
No, not at all.
Because here it's 6 months later, and we're still.
I love it.
We're still like effusively talking about it. You know what I mean?
Every student that I work with that asks me about gear and hardware say, how is it? Because they're thinking about getting maybe one of the smaller units. I'm like, just get one.
Yeah.
Once you use it, you're never going to go back to a manual patch bay.
Yep.
Never ever.
And I mean, like I said, like it's great. I have a couple of patch bays in mine. I paid a couple $100 a piece for. You know what I mean? It's like, and I get it. I get like the expense of a flock. I have 32 in and out, 32 in, 32 outs of patch bay. To get a 32 in, 32 out flock, it's got to be about $6,000. Whereas mine are 600. So
a big price difference.
It's a factor of 10.
Big price difference.
So to justify, I'm not doing it full time.
Right. Well, yeah, it depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm fine.
Right.
With the way I am. But if I was doing a full time, or even if I was pulling it in as a side gig anymore now, I would have to seriously consider.
It just makes things faster.
Putting with the amount of hardware I have available to me, I would have to consider putting it in.
Yeah, I love it. I can't recommend it enough, but that's just me. Yeah. Anywhere I'm on the STEM audio. Well, why does that little message come up? Oh, just telling me that I can. Oh, I can make it bigger.
You can make it bigger or smaller. Look at that.
Anywhere STEM audio Fairchild.
Something else we were discussing today.
I have no information on that. I don't know. If he's making them. I don't know. Maybe he is making some.
There's been no communication.
No agreement yet to get one of those units.
Yeah.
Not at least not as of this point.
Yeah, and I don't want to say anything negative, but the reputation the guy has for being hard to get in touch with and how long it takes to get hardware from him to you, it's earned.
Yeah, so I have no update because I really don't know.
Yeah.
But who knows if something changes? I'll let you know.
No communication. David used to. I don't know how long ago you stopped, but David was trying to reach out to him to get a response for a while, and he just got no response. So it's like,
I don't. Yeah.
At some point in time, you do have to just say, okay, we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
So we moved on.
I'm here if somebody wants to talk to me, but until then, we're cool. In switching the patches between the gears, seamless, no pops.
Absolutely no artifacts whatsoever.
None. That's one of the things that really amazed me. There's not even there's not even sometimes with certain plugins you'll get a pop or you'll get like a hesitation.
Yeah.
You don't get that with this. I don't know how.
Yeah, like there's with a plugin or something, there's a latency issue where it activates and deactivates, especially the ones that are heavier on the processor. There's always that latency issue. Whereas with this one, and again, I don't know how he does it either because he doesn't have servos or anything inside that thing. I don't know how he does his switching in that thing.
I know if he does it with VCAs. I don't know what he does, but there's no pops. Now, if you have a stereo unit across two different tracks, and you bring another one in, it'll pop right in. And if you switch between the two, I noticed there'll be maybe a split second delay in the switch only on a stereo unit, but it doesn't pop and it doesn't glitch.
So it's just a tiny bit of latency on stereo.
just a tiny bit.
Yeah, but
not on the mono ones.
But also not enough to ruin.
No.
Okay.
No, and in the new app too, I did a video on. It's on the channel. They've also added some really cool features to do auditioning. They added a thing to the app called an A/B list, where you can, let's say, on a track. You can put, let's say I want to put compressor A, EQ A on the track, and then you can put what's called an A/B list. It's basically an audition. You could put a whole nother hardware chain.
You can do 2 chains on the track and then A/B them back and forth.
The chains, not just single units.
Yeah.
So where before it was just like, okay, you want to go between one compressor or another or one EQ. This can do entire chains.
Yeah.
So you could put 3 or 4 pieces of gear on chain A, 3 or 4 pieces of gear on chain B, and you can just swap them instantly.
Yeah.
And hear the difference. That's really cool.
It's really turning into just mission control.
Yeah, it works really well. Yeah, but no, Malcolm, no, nothing.
No noticeable artifacts worth talking about.
Not in the 6 months I've used it.
Yeah, so
any PLV mixes coming. Not they're on the content creation calendar.
The calendar.
When they're actually
getting
when they're actually getting made. It's going to be. There will be, but it's going to be in a little bit. But there'll be something coming soon.
Cool.
Any thoughts on the SSL Oracle? Oh, it looks really nice.
It's a beautiful unit. That I think they did an amazing job on it. But every time I look at that console, it always screams recording console to me.
Well, it's made to do both for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I didn't really. I've seen some videos on it. I haven't researched it too much because as soon as I saw that the price tag starts at 149 grand, I just said, well, it's not even in.
That's three of these.
It's not even in my.
Yep.
It's not even in the conversation for something that I could even consider upgrading to. I mean, and that's only for 24 tracks. If you want 48 tracks, it's 199,000.
I mean, if I was opening up a project studio, an Oracle would be something you would absolutely have to look at for the room.
Yeah, it would be one to look at. But it looks
for what we're doing. No.
Oh, for what I'm doing, it's it's just like it really to me. They took the AWS and they said they started at that platform and then they kind of revolutionized what that console could be in 2025. I think it's really cool.
Yep.
It looks really cool.
Yep.
The few people that I've seen that have put their hands on it say it's built really well.
Sure, it sounds great.
It's great. It's got the screens on the front. Everything. It's all. Well, here's the other thing that's great about that console. It's 100% digitally recallable.
Yep.
Because all the hardware, EQ and there's no dynamics, but all the hard EQs are under the hood and they're done with encoders. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
But it's not even something that I could ever even consider.
Yeah.
So I just think it looks cool and good for them. I hope they sell a ton of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I that's just a lot of money.
Yeah.
And some of the things that's funny. Couple of the earlier people that maybe looked at them that were, I think Animal Studios is his name. Who's the guy, the mastering guy in England? Animal Studios, the mastering channel, the YouTube channel.
Oh God, there's a few of them. I can't think of which.
He's a British guy. He's got a really nice. He has all digitally controlled hardware. Anyway,
there's a bunch. So
he was talking about a lot because I guess he went to do a hands-on demo and he said in his video and he got a chance to touch it and he was talking about all the things that it can do. Like SSL was bragging about all the routing capabilities and things that you can do, and I'm like 90% of what they said I can, from a routing perspective, I can do on this.
Yes,
it's not new. Like they were like, oh, you can route, you can have an insert point on the short fader and the long fader. I'm like, well, that has this.
We have that.
You can put the EQ on the short fader or the long fader.
We have that.
You have that too. Yep. There was a bunch of those little things where I'm like, wow, 90% of what you just said all could be done on the Origin.
But I guess
not that it's not great that it doesn't do it there.
I guess the calling card would be the digital control and recallability side of it.
Great.
So that would be your calling card.
That's great.
That's also not an E series based console, right? That's not based on an E series.
No, it's not. It's based on the AWS on the the duality that it's more it's not based on the 4KE from what I'm told.
Okay.
It's based on the it's the 9000 series.
Yeah, but still
it's probably in their literature.
It's still a win for the Origin to me. It's still a win for the Origin for me. Because this is E series based.
E series based and it's way more simple. But this is true. Just this is like a dummy console. It's analog dummy.
Yeah, there's
no intelligence inside this thing.
No, it is what it is. But like I said, it's got it's E series. It's got all the routing capabilities and everything you need. The only thing it does not have is recall, but Again,
it's okay.
We don't need.
I don't do any, so
there's no recalls necessary.
I don't really do them, so that's not a big deal for me.
I mean, to me, that's always like, and I'll be controversial for a second when I say it though. But everybody that gets so worked up over recalls, it's one of two things: either you're working with major labels,
or you just work major clients,
or you need to do multiple tries to get a mix right.
Yeah, I think most of the people that complain about it, guys that are in the business, is because they work with a client or a label or a producer or whatever, where they may be working literally on 3 or 4 projects at different stages at the same time.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then absolutely, this is not the kind of console you want.
Correct.
You don't want that.
Then you need something like an Oracle, which you can just punch a button and have the next mix back up.
Right, because it also has all motorized faders. It is DAW control. I mean, there's a lot of things that console does that this doesn't do. But that's why it's 4 or 5 times the price.
That's what I'm saying. When I look at a console like that, I'm looking at that in being in an actual studio situation. That's when I look at a console like that.
And it doesn't have any. The Oracle has no dynamics in it either. But neither does this. So the duality does, but this doesn't.
Yeah, but we've been down that road multiple times too. About
some people want that.
Yeah, but I mean, like.
Some people want to have it there.
How many E-Dynes did you have?
I had 15 at one time.
Up in Iraq, yeah. And how often did you actually use them?
I sold most of them. I only kept a pair.
You only have 2. So,
originally when we bought this console, that was one of the... So, we could just get a bunch of 500 series, put it in there, and just...
Yeah, we were going to run E-Dynes on every channel.
And we did. We ran them on the first I think it was 16. We ran the first 16 channels permanently inserted, so all you had to do was hit the insert button, and they were there. And I found that most times I would use a couple here or there, but... You don't compress on every single channel. You don't gate on every single channel. But in the old 84,000 series, it was in there, and the duality. If it's in there and it's nice to have, I guess.
Sure, if it's there, it's there. But it comes back to the same thing too. It's like everything compresses.
But I guess what people are complaining about with the Oracle, they're like, but you know what? You may not use it all. You may not need them all, but at 150 or 200K,
you might expect some.
You would expect they would be in there,
or at least a few that you could assign to certain channels.
You don't get that. So
all right, they missed the mark on that one.
But it's it looks like a great console. I just it's not even in the it's not in the conversation. Not for me. I could never.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sell this and buy that, and there's no reason to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris Flynn. Hey, Chris. The Wolf patch looks killer. Yeah, it's all relays. They have a different technology than the Flock. The Flock does something different. They don't use relays.
Yeah, they run a completely different topology. My question is, and I don't know. I'd have to go through the whole thing. Is all of the switching capabilities you have in the Flock for like the ABs and the multiple chains and all the rest of that stuff, because that one is mechanical relays.
Yeah, they have a software system too.
Will it be able to do the same things? You know what I mean?
Can't say that it doesn't because I've never tried it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I would gather that it does a lot of what I would gather the products are probably very similar in their feature set. I don't know because, like you said, the AB feature that's all brand new to Flock. So I don't know if the Wolf already does that. It might. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's about I don't know because I don't look at the Wolf product only because I don't need to. But I don't think they make a unit with this many ins and outs in one box.
I don't think so.
I think they make a 32 or 64. I don't think they make 192 points.
Yep.
I don't think they do. Maybe they do now. I don't know.
It's possible. Let me see.
And my guess is it'll be relatively ballpark price, probably similar in price. And I know people think that the relay system is maybe better because of they feel nothing's going to be added to the sound. Where some folks have said that the patch colors your sound or does something to your sound. And like I said when we talked about it before, I don't notice that. If it does in such an unbelievably subtle way. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah. So they have a model. Oh, there's a hot new item on its way. The Wolf 200R.
Okay, so maybe they do. But how much is it? 14 grand?
Yeah.
So it's comparable to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
$14,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it a 2-space? It's a 2-space.
How many points?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
It may have more features in the flock in some areas. I don't know.
Let me see. Come on, stop jumping on me.
I don't know. But yeah, no, it looks, I'm sure the Wolf stuff is really good too. I mean, they have a reputation of building really high-end equipment.
Yeah.
So it's,
and very heavy duty.
So my guess would be it's probably great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was 100 in, 100 out.
100 in, 100 out?
100 in, 100 out.
200
so that's 200 points.
This is 96 and 96 out.
Yeah, this is 188 or whatever.
82.
180 whatever.
It's 96 and 96 out. So
Yeah.
it's got a few more ins out. And it looks like on that one, they have a few more things on the front panel you can do.
Yeah, they got...
Oh, they got some like preamps. And is that not is there a way
No, that looks like 4 insert patches with combo jacks.
And what's on the other side of that unit?
Those are... I don't know what those are. But yeah. I mean, it looks like a pretty cool unit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's great.
You know, and again, it's the same thing. It uses a different topology, but it probably does the same thing, you know, that this one does. It just uses a different mechanical topology to it.
I don't think it has fans in it. That's the other thing that people
I will say
complain about.
I will say that when you are working in the back of that flock, it's hot back there.
Yeah, if you got your face right next to it.
Yeah, your hand, like when you're tying the cables together and stuff, it's warm back there. But the fan's not, because everybody always dings it for the noise of the fan. I can't hear the fan. I haven't heard the fan in that thing yet.
No, and right now, it's since we've installed it.
Yeah.
It's on its highest settings, running continuous. Now you can shut the fan off in the software to only run when it needs to run, or you can run it on a low setting. We run it on high continuous.
Yep.
And I'm sitting a little more than an arm's length away from it. I don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
Now, when we did the install, I put an iPhone up to it. If you guys go watch the install video, I actually put the iPhone up to it so you could hear it.
Yeah.
Of what it really sounds like. And the only time that I think, and again, that's on the big unit. On their smaller units, the fans are probably smaller. They're probably quieter too.
Yeah, well.
So the only thing about maybe that fan is if you had a desk situation where that flock was sitting right next to you and you had like a large diaphragm condenser microphone and you were going to record like an acoustic guitar and you were 2 feet away from it and the fan was on its highest settings.
Maybe.
Would the condenser pick it up? Yes. I'm sure it would.
Sure.
It would.
Sure.
No doubt it would.
You know.
But in that case, you just turn the fan off in the software while you're recording, and then you turn it back on when you're not recording.
Yeah. And then me being the practical person I am will say to you, well, why are you recording an acoustic guitar 2 feet away from your flock patch bag?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. But that would be the only use case. That would be the only use case that I could see where the fan could maybe be a problem for somebody. But But I was under the impression, because of all, again, you read stuff online and people get
talk.
online. And I thought,
people have opinions.
We're going to get this thing in here and it's going to sound like a helicopter in the room. It's going to be you can't work with it. It's too loud. And we were like, I don't hear it at all. What's everybody complaining about?
Yeah, well, that was the install day that we did when we did the install and we were doing the wrap up video at the end. And like I was standing over here.
Yeah, we were like sitting and I'm like, can you hear this thing?
Yeah, your furnace and machine room is 2 walls away
and 2 doors.
Standing 2 walls and 2 doors away.
And if that kicks on, you can hear it.
And I could hear that.
Yeah.
Standing here, I couldn't hear the flock when it was 2 feet away from me.
Yeah, I don't. So I think
again, it's not. It's something that either a lot's being made of it that doesn't necessarily need to be made of it. People are way oversensitive,
or people are doing the internet thing, or
maybe, it's the internet thing,
or maybe they're earlier. I mean, remember, Flock's been around about 10 years, 12 years. Maybe in their early units, maybe that was an issue, and maybe they've improved it. And in the newer units, it's not.
We weren't there, so we can't say.
I can't say.
Yeah,
all I can tell you is that it's the biggest unit they make with what would be considered the loudest fan. It's on its highest settings. And it runs 24/7. It never shuts off.
I was just thinking, I can't imagine how much bigger, if he wanted to add more inputs and outputs to that thing, how much bigger would the unit have to get?
And so...
Because that thing's huge.
And I don't hear the fan ever. I never sit here mixing and go, oh, the fan is annoying me. Never, ever. So for people that say that, I would say, don't let that scare you off to trying one, because you're going to find that it's not what people say it is.
Yeah, But then again, too, I mean, it helps to be cynical and not really listen to internet noise anyway.
Yeah, try it. I tell people, go buy it from somewhere where you can return it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you put it in your studio and you turn it on and you think the fan's too loud, put it back in the box, get a refund. Or if you don't like it or whatever, but I'm just like I used to tell you guys, as I know it's an expensive piece of equipment, but I used to tell you guys the same thing about the Trinoff when everyone said to me, and I said, I'm telling you, I'm not saying everyone needs to run out and spend money on a Trinoff, but I'm saying if you're in a situation where that piece of equipment makes sense and you're wondering, is the price tag worth what you're getting in return? It is 100% without a shadow of a doubt. And if you ever used one, you wouldn't send it back. You just would not.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean every studio can afford it or whether they need it. I'm just saying it's not hype. It's not a gimmick. Yeah. It's real. It's the shit. It is.
Yeah. Because if you're in a studio situation where where you have a use case for it,
right?
Then absolutely worth. You know what I mean? It's absolutely worth it. Because yes, you can go get an Arc 4 Studio, which I have.
It's not the same.
For $300. It does not do it does the same, it performs the same function, but it does it in a completely different way.
And
that does phase correction
right.
that the Arc Studio.
That's the big thing.
It's the phase correction side of it that makes more of the difference to it,
And it's just got more complicated algorithms and technology to make things a little more accurate. It's not to say the other products aren't good. They are great.
Yeah.
For depending on your use case.
Yes.
But for professionals that do this, I'm telling you, that Trinoff next to that flock, before I got flock, I said before we got flock, the Trinoff is the most important piece of gear in the studio next to the console.
Yep.
It makes the biggest difference.
I know I've told the story before on these things, but the first day I was in this room with the older Trinoff, actually, with
the ST2.
With the ST2. I'm sitting in the sweet spot. I forget what I was playing. I was playing something. And I was playing something, and I had it turned up, not to ludicrous volume, but it was nice and loud for me. And I was freaking cycling the Trinoff on and off.
What a difference.
And it was just like, and I just couldn't stop. I think I sat for like 5 minutes going click, click. It was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, what is happening right now?
Right.
And
it's more than it just doesn't. It does, but it's more than just doesn't throw an EQ on the blaster bus and go. That's it.
Yeah,
that's only one fraction of what that thing does.
It's not doing the Arc Studio job or the help me out here. What's the other one?
Reference ID.
Yeah, the reference ID.
SonarWorks.
Yeah, it's not doing SonarWorks because they're mainly EQ. I mean, I know SonarWorks does some other things under the hood too.
Yeah, it does. It's a good product.
But it's like you say, like it's not just squishing down the mountains. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
It's
no, it's way more than that.
Way more than that.
And I can tell you because again we've done videos on all this. So if you're new to the channel, welcome by the way.
Hi.
And you can always go
there's
back.
There's a lot of names up there I don't recognize.
Yeah, me too, and that's great. You can always go to I have everything in playlist. I have a Trinoff playlist. You can go and listen to where I've had some clients write me email testimonials and stuff, and I read them, and I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
And I've done, I don't know, I've had it.
Because the people that you're mixing for, they don't know that you have it. They don't know what it's doing.
No.
All they know is the effect.
All
they know is the effect that it had in the mix that you did for them.
Yeah, the translation is perfect.
Yeah, and the fact that you can hand people a mix one.
Mix one is done.
And you send it to them, and they're like, I have no revisions. You know what I mean? Like, and that has everything to do. I mean, skill involved with it, yes, but that also has everything to do with your environment.
Everything.
It's with your environment, and it creates the perfect mixing environment in whatever room you happen to be in.
It does. Ever since I started mixing with that, I've done, I don't know, dozens of mixes in the last year now, wherever it is. There's not been any more. Yeah. I send a mix. It'll always come back with one set of changes. They're always less than 5 bullet points.
Yeah. Turn the snare down.
And can you just turn the snare down a little? Can you turn the shaker up a little bit in the chorus? It's always one of those little, subjective, personal preference.
And the bass player is always unhappy.
No one has ever said. I've had many people say, I've listened to this thing on 5 different playback systems. It sounds great on all systems. As soon as I hear that, I go, done.
Done. We're done. Here's your here. Yep. Go get it mastered. Have a nice life. Yep.
So if you're working with clients, and this is, time is money. Mm-hmm. The fact that I don't have to do 3-4 sets of revisions to dial in a mix,
especially in this room,
right?
Because you send a mix, you can't touch this board until you get your feedback back.
So I know that the mix is right, and it's just a couple of little personal preference changes, and we're done on mix 2. And that has happened over and over and over and over again. And I'm telling you, that's the trim off.
Yeah, and that's why I say
that's a trim off.
That's why I say you take the flock and the trim off, and you put their utility value into the studio. And again, things that the clients don't hear, they don't see.
No, it's just a time saver.
It's a workflow time thing.
Big time.
But both of those things have such a huge impact on what happens when you're sitting here that
it cuts.
They're worth the investment. No matter what you say.
Easily cuts 30% out of a mix. Easily.
Yes.
Without a doubt. Some less, some more, but I would say 25-30% time out of a mix.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, if you don't have room correction, you ought to get it. And
everybody who's mixing should have some kind of room correction, even if it's $300. If it's a $300 ARC Studio. I'm here to tell you the ARC Studio does an amazing job.
It does a good job.
It does an amazing job in my studio. It makes a huge difference in everything I do. I would never want to be without the ARC Studio in my room again. And that's $300. The best, honestly, in my room, the best $300 I ever spent.
Start with the $300 one, and then if you outgrow it, go to a trim off.
I can't see myself ever outgrowing it, mind you, but
Crystal, the wolf. The wolf is digitally controlled. It takes nothing. It does it all. Pardon me. Nothing in the analog path.
Okay, fine, cool.
That's great.
It does the job. Cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, it does the same job in a different way.
Yeah, and again, it's I know again some purists get worried about the flock does put something in the analog. Again,
that we can hear.
Maybe technically it does. I don't know. I'm a simple guy.
Yeah.
I listen to it and I don't go, wow, this sounds way different than when I was using my manual patch base. It doesn't sound that. There's nothing there.
No.
It just there isn't. Now, I suppose if you wanted to put things on a scope and you wanted to, maybe you would see something, or maybe the very discerning ears, if you really wanted to isolate something and really focus in, could you hear? Maybe you can.
I'll leave that to the YouTube warriors.
I can't. But again, I don't know. I mean, what do I know?
I'll leave that to the YouTube warriors.
And when people say too, well, again, we talk about when people say, some people, not Chris, because Chris is not saying this, but some people will say, it colors the sound. And I go, and I would laugh. I'd say, so when you work in this kind of a studio, every single piece of audio from the time it leaves the DAW to the time it goes back in, colors the sound. I color the sound in about 15 different ways, between the console, between the converters, between all the analog gear, all the stuff going back in, any plugins I put on the mix or what. There's so much color. So if you're telling me that you think on top of all of that, the flock is putting some minuscule whatever on the sound,
whatever it's doing is inconsequential compared to everything else that's happening.
Again, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, because
but I mean, technically, maybe that's correct, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we went through all of that with the null test video. I mean, nobody watched my null test video, but I watched it. Yeah, somebody watched. Hey, thanks, man, I appreciate it.
I watched the whole thing from start to finish.
I appreciate that. But I mean, like the null test video. I mean, all the different scenarios for null testing things, like, and it became just any time you introduce anything analog into the signal path,
it's going to change things.
Null test is no longer valid because it's never going to null. It's always being colored, and it's always being colored slightly differently every time you run audio through it. Right. So because we did that. If anybody hasn't seen the null test video, go watch it. But
go watch it. It's fun.
We ran, and I had David come in here. I think I did that to you. It's like, come in here, turn the studio on, don't touch anything, run me 2 prints of the same mix.
Yeah, we did that.
Don't touch anything.
We did that.
Yeah, don't touch a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Run two and literally 2
passes.
You ran 2 passes, so it was 6 minutes from beginning to end.
But just the amount of time for the song to end.
And they didn't null.
Right, they won't.
They didn't know.
Because every time you run it through the equipment and print, and they run it through and print it again,
it changes.
Even if you can't hear it, even if the human ear really can't notice it.
I mean, yes, it's not like it's minus 24 or minus 30 dB.
It's never going to be 100%.
But it's not nulling
because it's not digital.
Yeah, it's not nulling.
Right.
So like you say too. It's like, well, the Toronto is going to color the sound. Holy crap, people! Look at this room.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
Hey, maybe it colors the sound in a way that I like.
Hey, good. You know, it might actually make it better.
Maybe it's like another saturator.
Yeah, no. but like, I mean, like, there's literally 100 miles, if not more, of circuitry and wiring in this room.
Right.
Probably more.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 miles of circuitry and wiring in this room, and everything is running through it every freaking time.
Right.
Everything's colored.
Everything's colored.
Everything's colored. As soon as you turn everything on, it's colored. What do you want?
But that's the point of having all this equipment. You want it to color the sound.
You want the color. So and if you didn't like the color, you'd get another thing.
Get another color.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I don't know. Again, I think, again, and my guess would be the Wolf audio unit is awesome too.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it's a fantastic unit.
I'm sure it is. Because I mean, everything I've seen him make, I mean, only looking from appearances and reading the specs on it.
He's a legend in the industry.
He's a legend in the industry, and the stuff he makes just by spec alone is like, he's pouring into it.
Yeah,
he's pouring everything he has.
I'm sure it's great
into that stuff. You know,
and if that's the technology they use, and if some people would prefer that, then try it.
Then go for it.
But again, I only reason why I'm defending Flock is because I believed all that crap too until we got it in here, and I guess what is everybody?
Yeah.
Or maybe they just have better ears than me. Okay.
Well, we're not young anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, I mean, we're not kids.
I just think if there's something for sometimes there's people, if they find something to hang their hat on, they're just looking for anything to hang. Look, does the music sound good or doesn't it?
Yeah.
When I send it out to a client, do I ever have anyone say to me, you know what, dude, everything sounds great, but that patch bay you got, it must be
really
color.
Screwed my whole mix up, dude. I'm taking my business somewhere else.
You know, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's just, but again, from a scientific standpoint, you know, from a technical standpoint, that a lot of people out there are a lot smarter than I am.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something going on. All I'm telling you is if you're looking for a digitally controlled patch bay, don't let people turn you off
to a flock
because the fan is too loud and it's going to color your sound and degrade your sound.
Yeah, it's going to degrade your audio.
I would just say go try one, and if you don't like it, go try the Wolf one. All I'm telling you is if you got a lot of gear, once you use a digitally controlled patch bay, you will never go back to a manual patch bay.
Yeah.
I don't care which one you buy.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm assuming the Wolf is awesome. It's probably awesome.
You'll never hear me. I can't say I've never experienced it, but again, it's there. It's available. People love it, so obviously he's doing something right. Moving on.
Yeah.
You know?
Wolf is the API and the Tone Alexa one. Yeah.
No idea what you're saying, but okay.
No, fine. He's been around. He's been around. Yeah, he's been around forever.
Yeah, he's a legend.
And he's awesome. Yeah. And some of his other gear is, I'm sure, great. I know they put a NAMM last year. They were showing one of their consoles.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, when Charlie was at NAMM.
Yeah.
That thing looked like that thing looked nuts. I remember that because that console looked nuts, man.
Now, if Wolf wants to send one of those in here,
I'm down.
We'll check it out.
I'm down.
That's awesome. The flock is quiet. The Lynx Aurora has a high-pitched whine. Oh, really? The soft tube console stuff does as well. Really?
You've had soft tube console
I've used a lot of the soft tube stuff.
Did you ever notice?
No.
Okay.
Maybe you had a defective unit.
No, weird. Okay.
Always hear good stuff about the flock aside from the fan noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's odd about the soft tube console stuff. I never experienced that. Maybe you just had a bad unit in your studio.
Didn't you have two separate? You had like
I had Mach 1, Mach 2, and the third one.
Yeah, so you've had all three of them in here, and you've never noticed an issue with any of them.
No, I did in-depth reviews on the other channel for them, and there was never any issues with them, as far as I remember.
Amelia, you might want to look into that.
Check that out. I don't know. That's weird.
Seriously, if you have one of them, you might want to look at it. So, we'll have to create a better one. He can't sit. Yeah, creative people can't sit still. You know? Yeah, internet noise is rough. I know. Believe me, I know.
Yeah, that's why I always tell people, I always say buy the stuff, especially if it's a big ticket item.
Yeah.
Just buy it from where you can return it. Go to Sweetwater, go to Vintage King or Alto or Musician's Friends or wherever you have like a 30, 45 day, no questions asked. Yeah. I would recommend you do that.
Sure.
Because then you have no risk.
Yeah, but it's like
and then
reviews are important.
They are important.
Reviews are important. Somebody comes up with a negative review on something, it certainly is something that you would want to factor in.
Sure.
But you know, like if you see anything with like something gets like 10 positive reviews, and then there's that one dude, you know what I mean? Who,
well, here's the thing.
But everybody flocks to that opinion.
Yeah, I have never seen, because when we were working out them sending us one, and I started doing some research to figure out what was I going to get. Yeah. I never saw a negative video about the flock.
You saw it on
chats. It was all internet shit.
Yeah.
All at forums and stuff.
Forums and chat. Yeah.
And then what I was, not on this particular case, but what we've come across on our own channel before is sometimes people get on these internet chats or they get in YouTube comments and they make comments about equipment. And they've done it on my channel. And then I would ask them, oh, have you tried this yourself? Because that's always the first question.
No, I heard.
And then I always hear, oh, I heard it secondhand. I heard it from a reliable source.
We've had people in our chats.
It happens not as much now, but it used to happen all the time. And I go, wait a minute. You're out there presenting something as absolute truth. And then when you dig a little deeper, you find out that particular person
because I heard it on so and so's channel,
has never put their hands on it, has never stood in the room with it, has never experienced it for themselves. And I said, well, you should be careful about that. Now, you can say, well, I heard, or a friend of a friend told me, but don't.
Yeah, because we had that with the poster who shall remain nameless.
We had that with about the Antelope.
Yeah, and the Galaxy. And he pitted us against 2 other YouTube channels. You know, like, oh, I asked so and so, and he said this, and I asked so and so, and they said that. So you're wrong, and it's like, first of all,
and everybody's experience is different.
First of all, don't pit me against this one and that one.
Right. That's okay.
You know, I mean, like, first of all, one, that's totally uncool.
Yeah.
And second of all, everybody's experience is experience. When we do a review, when we talk about a piece of equipment, it's our experience with it. I don't ever talk about equipment that I haven't put my hands on. Yep. And we also and also
never ever.
And also, in all honesty, if we have a negative experience with a piece of equipment,
you wouldn't probably see it on the channel.
You're not going to know about it.
You're probably not going to know about it.
Yeah, they're not going to know about it because we're not talking about it.
No, I'm not going to do a review on a thing and bash some company like that. Now, if I had an experience, whenever you talk about analog gear or any kind of equipment, things over time, they break down. There could be manufactured. There's things that could happen.
Shit happens every day.
And if you had a problem and the company was a stand-up company and they helped you out and took care of you, great. The only time I would ever come on and do anything outside of that is if a company didn't treat you properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I never had that experience. So anyway, I always just say, regardless of what piece of gear you're talking about, be careful what you read, because a lot of times I find out that they don't even have experience with the stuff and they're making comments like they do. That's not to say someone didn't have a bad experience with a piece of gear that we haven't had a bad experience. That could happen.
Absolutely.
But then let's state it as such. So again, try it. If you don't like it, send it back. But
exactly right.
Because I'll tell you what, if I would have just listened to things that I read about the flock, I probably wouldn't have tried it.
No.
But when I started researching the videos, I never saw a negative video on it. And then I saw guys like Cole Caparoon. He had a positive video about it. I saw a couple other guys that had a positive video about it. I'm like, okay, well, these guys don't seem to be having a problem. Maybe it's not as bad as everybody thinks or says it is. And come to find out, it's great.
You look at a guy. You look at a guy like Colt though, and his philosophy is basically the same as ours. It's like, you put your hands on it before you talk about it.
Yeah, and if he says that he didn't have a problem, then
and so so it's like it is. Yeah, like I said, there's so much dissonance on the interweb now that you have to be cynical now. You just out of self-defense.
Yeah.
Well,
again, like I said, try it for yourself or try something for yourself and then make the decision. And if you want an honest, unbiased, hey, what's your real experience? I'll tell you what it is. I'm not going to lie to you. E-dynamics are cool, but as you get to know compressors, you quickly realize that most compressors do a thing really well, and that's why we buy so many compressors. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Exhibit A.
And plugins, compressor plugins too. So it is. But the E-dynes are very cool.
They are cool.
I mean, I when I had the E-dynes in my studio, I threw them on a drum bus a couple times and was like, holy crap, listen, but then it turned out that I could do the same thing with a plugin and I moved on. Because I've got very limited real estate in my studio. So, but yeah, I mean, everything is cool. You know, everything that does a thing is cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be, because don't forget, like with the Bluey, I hated the Bluey when you had it. I have a Bluey now.
You use it all the time.
I use it all the time.
Right.
It's like it's everything is subjective and everything has a purpose. That Bluey, you take that Bluey as just a freestanding unit, and it really sounds like crap on a lot of freaking tracks, but it does a thing.
It does do a thing.
And sometimes the thing that it does fits into a mix incredibly well. And like I said, for me now, it's for like, I'll use it like on a lead vocal, and then I'll switch to a regular 1176 for the background vocals and stuff like that. So because it gives that lead vocal that different push.
Yeah, right. It's different,
you know what
sounding,
I mean?
for
yeah,
sure.
it gives you a different push on the lead vocal. I love that. That's it's never leaving my studio. Never, you know. So, you know.
Turn off correction the time domain.
Yeah,
as well.
that's the phase. That's the phase.
It does time alignment part. It does phase. It does a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm not even smart enough to explain it. It does a lot. There's a lot of technology, a lot of technical algorithms going on under the hood on that thing. I believe Credits does some time in phase alignment. Yeah, it does. In real time, if I remember correctly, there's a tiny bit of latency from the processing. I think.
Yeah, but you don't notice it.
I don't know. I never noticed that, but that's not to say there isn't a little bit of latency. But I've never.
Yeah, but you're never going to notice it because you hit the play button and it plays.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
At least in this system.
I mean, there could be milliseconds of delay there when you hit the play button, but you're just not going to notice it.
Yeah,
you're in the environment.
I've never noticed that, but that's not to say that there's not some technical tiny bit of latency. Maybe there is.
I'm sure there has to be,
but nothing that that went, oh, that doesn't sound right or whatever like that. Let's see. As mixers,
we do worry about things that don't really matter from time to time. But it's good to know what's happening in the inside. Yeah, we worry about things that don't really matter a lot more than from time to time. Some of us are really psycho cases that way.
Yeah, it is good to know. You want to know how your gear works and what your technology is, and again, you have to decide for yourself whether that matters enough to you.
Yeah,
and there's no right or wrong.
And honestly, the trap that you can fall into is the good enough trap. It's good enough. You start falling into that trap, you're never going to advance. So you're always concerning yourself with things that may or may not matter, but if they move you along, they do matter. You know,
the flock coloring the sound. Maybe a bat could hear it. Maybe
could be.
I can't hear it.
Yeah. Yep. Forms are a nightmare. Yeah, babe. You got that right.
Say the blue bottle.
Other mics are atrocious. And say, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, blue doesn't exist anymore anyway, outside of the USB mics now, which is a shame.
Yeah,
you know,
I never use their stuff, so
I have a few of them. I have the Baby Bottle SL. I have a couple dynamic mics of theirs. Every mic I've ever used of theirs is really freaking good, but it also has a personality. Every single one of their mics has a personality.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, they're the ones that you could have swapped out all the different capsules and.
They had one,
right?
yeah. They had one,
like that. I never used it.
Yeah, the actual blue bottle mic, which was a pretty big one. All of those upper capsules, you could just unscrew one, screw another one on, and they had like I don't know how many different ones there were. But the problem with it is Logitech bought blue and shut the whole thing down.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. Logitech bought blue, shut the whole thing down. All they do is I can't remember the model name, but the USB podcasters mic that they made.
Oh yeah.
That's basically the only thing they still make.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and now it's made under the Logitech brand and not the blue brand.
I didn't know if that's information I had no idea.
It's a shame because I thought Blue was an incredible microphone company, but they're gone. They just don't exist. So I'm looking at my Baby Bottle SL as a possible collector's item down the road.
Maybe so if they don't make it anymore.
Yeah, so I'm kind of holding on to that.
Do you prefer the desk EQ or plug-in? Oh, the EQ in the desk.
The desk.
Because when you run it through the EQ, you're listening to the EQ, but what you're really listening to is you're listening to the coming into the EQ. You're listening to the circuitry that goes out of the the fader. Yeah. So the desk sounds better than to me. It sounds different.
The desk EQ is
it's different.
The desk EQ is livelier than a plug-in.
It's more sensitive to.
Yeah, it's livelier than a plug-in.
It's instant response.
Yeah, and because we've had that. That's another thing too. Like with all the plug-in versus hardware reviews, did comparisons that we did. the distance between a plug-in compressor and a hardware compressor
pretty
is
big.
way wider than the distance between an EQ plug-in and an EQ hardware.
I would agree with that.
So like your physical gain hardware to plug in is not as great on EQs, but in the board itself, if you compare, because we did, I know at some point in time, I don't think we did it on an actual video, but we did a channel strip to board comparison way back at the beginning.
I think we did.
And the EQ on the board was just more live sounding.
Yeah.
It was hard to describe it, but it had a presence to it that the plugin didn't have.
Yeah, and the thing is too, a lot of times you got to understand if you're just comparing a single EQ to a single plugin on a single track, obviously that difference is going to be a lot less noticeable.
If you ran across 32,
whole mix, and if I'm using, 32 of the EQs on the desk as opposed to 32 of the EQs on a channel strip in the box, is a huge difference in the sound.
Yes. Yeah, and you're right too, because that's also an accumulative. It's an accumulation of
effect.
Yeah. Compounding effect every time you add
without
another
a
channel,
shadow of a doubt.
or every time you add another piece of hardware over there, the effect compounds and it gets wider and wider and wider.
That's right. Without a doubt. One to one, not as much, but over the cumulative, way bigger difference.
Yes, for sure.
Ever think of putting 2,500, 500?
2,500 racks in the that'd be a lot of racks.
No, because now it's my master control dog control section. You could put 2 10-space racks in here. Yeah. Which some people do. Like if you're one of those ones that want to have all the E-Series dynamics, you could put 20.
Yeah, you get 20.
You could get 20
or 22, depending on which rack you're using.
Oh, if you use the super carrier, you could get 22.
But you're never going to get the whole board.
But you can get most of them.
Yep.
And you can put them right in front of you. But only because I use it for my transport, my mic, my monitor control, all that's here, so there's no room.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
But but you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is nice.
Again, that comes back to the same thing again. What's your use case?
Right.
What's your use case? We don't need them. We did talk about it once, but it was one of those things like we talked about it and then we moved on and we never came back to it.
It was an idea. We said, yeah, that's a cool idea.
Yeah,
and then
it is a cool idea.
And we started looking at it going, oh no, that's not going to work for us.
Not for us.
Not for us. But it's a great idea.
I'm sure if your use case if your use case was there for it, you would do it. Everything would be fine.
Yeah. And I like the design of the console that they thought about that.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it did make a lot of sense that they thought about it that way.
And I think you could even put, now that they have the Bus Plus out, you could put the Bus Plus in here. Like you could put your Bus Plus compressor if you weren't going to use the console.
Yep.
You could, if you built out, the Fusion will fit. It's a little too deep, but if you built up a trim ring, you could put the Fusion in there.
Yep.
If you wanted to, or any other piece of rack gear.
You could master bus yourself to death in there if
you
wanted
you
to.
Could, yeah. It was a nice design. It's just, that's why I didn't do it.
I think we answered that a minute ago, but are EQs or comps more important to have as hardware? Comps are more important to have as hardware. There's a bigger difference as compared to plugins. With the accumulated effect even getting wider. But there are some hardware EQs that are incredibly useful to have as well. Yeah. So, I would... We always kind of tend to disagree because you always say start with a mix bus compressor.
Or an EQ,
but you usually recommend people, if your first piece of hardware, it's going to be a bus compressor or something like that.
Oh, usually a color box and a compressor.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Whereas I always come in and say, for me, the most important thing to start with is something like a preamp or something like that, something that's just a straight saturation color box.
Yeah, or color box.
You know what I mean? So that to me is always the first thing.
Yeah.
But something for a first piece of hardware, you start on the mix bus anyway for the most part. That's the best recommendation.
That's what I tell people to do. Yep.
Start on the mix bus. Something like the Fusion,
great box,
or the MBT,
the Neve is really good,
or the Bus Plus. Anything that is a multitasker is a really good place to start first.
Neve Portico is another one of those, those big things.
Yeah. So
I think
there's a lot of
audio makes something now.
There's a lot of choices out there for that function. But my first piece of hardware should be I'm coming to a multifunction box.
Yeah, like a multifunction box. If you could get like a simple shelving EQ, a little bit of saturation, or a transformer circuit with little simple compressor,
with control,
stereo
all in one box.
Yeah,
For your first piece of hardware, you're set for life on it.
Yeah, because that'll have the largest impact because all your tracks are running through it, as opposed to just getting a hardware compressor to put on your vocal track. That's cool.
Yep.
But that's one track, so.
Yep. The Blue Mike Lark is killer. Yeah, they had such a killer lineup. It's like I said.
Gearheads really hate the company so that their mics go cheap used. Oh, really? Yeah. I wonder why they don't like the company. I don't know anything about them. Except I know who they are.
What were they? Czechoslovakian or something like that, or something? I don't know. They were from some place in the Baltics.
I don't know.
And but like I said, they're quirky. They look funny. They all have a personality. You know what I mean? Like, so I think for a lot of people,
that's what I would think. That's why they're popular.
For a lot of people, you think they're more of a novelty thing. Because everybody wants the freaking U4. Everybody wants U47 to U87s. Blue did not do U47 U87. Blue completely did not even get involved in that. So they were doing their own thing, and sometimes unique is not necessarily popular.
I guess not.
So because people are weird. What are your opinions of Kush plugins?
I don't know.
They're really freaking awesome, dude.
I've never used them.
I've demoed a few. I've never bought any. They do a thing. But when you already have 4,000 or 5,000 plugins, are they going to do something that you can't already do? No, not really. I mean, they do their thing. They're cool.
Yeah, I have no experience with them. I couldn't tell you.
They do their thing. They're cool. If you dig what they do, go for them. I mean, he's a very interesting person.
But they make hardware too, don't they?
They do, yeah. He's a very interesting person with a very interesting outlook on things, and he makes his plugins based upon his own personal opinions, outlooks, workflows, and everything else.
That's his company. He should be able to do that.
And they do the thing. So if that's a thing you want to do, then by all means.
Awesome.
By all means,
Yeah, I don't know anything about them. If you require top-end boost in a mix, I like to do it with analog chain. It sounds much smoother to me in digital, probably because I got some preamp and compressor saturation in the chain.
And there's your top-end boost. So,
Yep. Dave and Dave, you guys had a chance to see new SSL Revival. I've seen pictures of it.
Seen reports on it.
How would you use it? It's a channel strip.
It's a hardware channel strip. It's what it is. It's a hardware channel strip. It's you plug your mic into it and go.
Yeah, you would need a pair. They're mono, right? So you would need a pair.
Yeah, they're mono. You would need a pair to do stereo.
If you want to do like a stereo or mix.
I don't know. Did I see one where they had 2-in-1 chassis? I may have. I'm not sure. But it's a channel strip. It's a hardware channel strip, and the use for a hardware channel strip is as a mic preamp in the studio. And if you're looking for an SSL mic preamp in the studio, it's a killer mic preamp. Yeah,
so it's got features from the 4000E. It's got some features from the 4000B. It's got some additional. So it's got some of the highlights of maybe those two consoles, and they put those features in one channel strip.
Yep. If I
looks great. What does it cost? Anybody know? What does it cost?
Find out here.
Got to be at least a couple of grand. I would think, right?
Think so. What is it? It's the Revival 4000. Let's see.
Oh, tired. So it's got to be a couple of grand. But yeah, no, I'm sure it's great. I mean,
SSL Survival, $2,000 for a mono unit.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't see a stereo unit. Yeah, $2,000 for a mono unit. And again, if you're building a preamp collection,
well, it's more than it doesn't have compression in there. It's got compressors in there.
It's a full blown channel.
It's got a de-esser in there. It's got everything in there.
Yeah, it's a full blown channel strip. It's preamp, EQ, dynamics, de-esser, everything in one unit.
For $2,000, not bad.
For $2,000, that's a lot of capability for $2,000. And because the Rupert Neves Newton channel strip is also $2,000, which does basically the same thing, but that's a Neve flavor as opposed to an SSL flavor. So like I say, if you're building a preamp collection, there's definitely a place in it for that.
Yeah, it is, and that is like if you want, the authentic channel strip that came out of the consoles, there's a way to do it right there.
I mean, you're literally plugging your microphone into a channel on a 4000 console and recording it.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Aaron just even said $2,000.
So,
Cool, man. We're at the bottom of the chat. Any other questions?
Wow, that was fast.
That was fast. Yeah, that looks like a cool unit. I don't think we're going to get one in here to do anything with. I don't need one. I got 32 of those right in front of me.
Yeah. Exactly, that's the point. Well, the it doesn't have dynamics.
But it doesn't have dynamics.
Doesn't have dynamics.
And it doesn't have a de-esser.
No, but still.
But I have other de-essers.
Yeah, I mean, for somebody who has a collection of mic preamps, there's definitely a place in there for it. You know.
Yeah, if you want the SSL thing, it's going to have the SSL thing.
So I come back to the same thing too. If you're doing if you're recording and you want that sound, there's the sound is available to you. It's right there. Just go out, put the money down, plug it in, and go.
Or you could buy 2 of them, put it on your master bus, and you can record through it, then you can mix through it.
Yeah, you sure could.
Right.
You know,
you could do that, right?
How many stereo reverbs can you use on Origin? Well, there's
4. There's 4 stereo.
4 stereo auxiliary sends and returns.
I use 1.
So yeah, you could stack things if you wanted to.
Yep, you could.
But you can run 4 auxiliary stereo sends. You can run 4 different reverbs, and then of course you have channel inserts for individual channel reverbs. You could run you could literally run as many reverbs as you could to your little heart's content in it if you wanted to.
If you wanted to, yeah.
But the only reverb you have on here is the AudioScape, the 305. Yeah. So didn't you have the AMS?
I had AMS and I had 2 delay units. We had all 4 being used at one point.
Yeah.
And then I found that I really didn't use them.
Yeah.
Because I just felt the plugins were easier to use.
True.
So I just used the plugins.
Yeah, because I mean, like if you're gonna put a snare verb on, just put a plug-in on the channel and go.
Yeah, because the AMS was cool, but that's a digital reverb.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see it to be, because I don't use mountainfuls of reverb, so I didn't think that it was really didn't sound in my mixes. Really didn't make a difference whether I use the AMS or whether I use their plugin.
You're getting a lot of ambiance off of the master bus chain. You know what I mean? Because with all the saturation and everything else that's adding, you get a lot of that ambiance off of that. You don't need to put a reverb on it. You know what I mean?
Well, on the master bus, I would have put reverb anyway.
But that adds like if you have a lot of good room sounds, like a good, you know what I mean? That master bus is going to amplify that.
Yeah. And so we do use one, the spring reverb.
Yeah.
And that's analog, not digital.
It doesn't sound like a spring
No,
reverb.
it sounds more like a plate.
Yeah.
To me.
I think I agree with that.
But you can dial it in to taste per track, which is nice.
Yep.
And so that's on every single mix. But
and you're using that mainly
low.
For space.
It's just space.
That's not like actual reverb. That's just space.
It's just putting the whole band, everybody in this space at a very low level, and you don't really notice it until I take it away. And you go, everything sounds a little bit more linear. It sounds a little bit more three-dimensional. And then I'll use plugins for any other kinds of reverbs or delays that I need in it, and that just works out for me.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question I'm going to chew on here.
Which one?
What low end frequency do you use for bass guitar versus bass drum, hard rock, metal? Okay. 2 things you have to consider before you answer that question. And the most important one is, excuse me.
Jimmy Page is calling you.
Yeah, the heck you say. The thing, especially like in metal mixing, is which do you want on the bottom? Do you want the bass or the kick drum on the bottom? If you're mixing a song with a lot of blast beats,
thank you, Windoors.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, if you're mixing a song that has a lot of blast beats on the kick, you usually put the kick above the bass, because if you have too much low end and sub in the kick drum, it just muddies up really fast. So basically, I always because I don't like templating my frequencies, but I always look at it like 60, 120, 240. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like 60 is the kick drum or the bass, depending on which one I want on the bottom. 120 is the kick drum or the bass, depending which one I want on top.
Yep.
And then the snare and the snare is at 240 and the guitars start at 300 and off we go.
Right.
Okay. It's not engraved in stone. But it's a starting place. It's building space for each one of those things. So for Mr. Wooden Doors, when you're doing a mix, you're talking about in the low end, you're looking at 60, 120, 240, and you're fitting each one of them into something in that range as a starting point, and seeing how it goes. Especially like I said, in hard rock metal, it's always the question of the kick drum. What is the kick drum doing? If you have a lot of 30-second note blast beats going on, you can't have too much sub in that, because it just muddies right out and you can't hear it.
You get more of the clicky stuff.
Yeah. So those are you have to consider the environment you're mixing before you make that decision.
Can you tell me what processing is on the mic you're talking to right now? Okay, so this microphone is a Lewitt Ray mic. It's going through what you don't see down here. It's going through a Rodecaster Pro interface, and there's a little bit of compression, a little bit of de-essing, and over the interwebs, the live streams, it does a little bit of echo and noise suppression in there. So I don't know. It sounds acceptable to me, but
I've always thought it sounded very good.
Yeah, it sounds okay.
It sounds fine.
But that's all it is. It's kind of down and dirty. So I don't know if it doesn't sound good to you guys, but sometimes I notice on the live streams, the recording of the live stream, sometimes there's a little bit of, and it's not this setup, it's YouTube doing something with the audio. I'm not really sure what they do. But
YouTube is screwing around with a lot of things.
But typically, all my regular videos that you see, or all my training courses or what have you, all runs through this microphone. But what you will see in the YouTube videos and in my courses that you won't hear here is there in post, I will put a little bit of pardon me, isotope RX, and take a little bit of the deverb out. Yeah. Because you can hear a little bit of slap off the desk. Whereas when you see my produced videos, stuff that goes on YouTube that's not live, this sounds like a dynamic mic because I do post-processing there. And it's really just to get the echo off the desk. There's a little bit of room that you may or may not hear over the live stream. I'm not sure. But it's lightly processed, a little bit of de-essing, a little bit of compression. There's a roll-off, I'm sure, on the EQ in the Rodecaster, and there's probably a little bit of a top-end shelf, slightly. And because what I like about this particular microphone and just the way this works is I could be, as I'm doing videos or teaching, I could be anywhere on the console. And although it'll be a little further away, but people can still hear the instruction very clearly. Yeah, it's not meant to be like a dynamic microphone that's right in front of you.
This mic has built-in proximity effect correction.
Yeah, it does.
That's one of the things about it. So, like I say, you can come all the way back here. It's compensating the proximity effect internally.
So you'll hear a little bit more of the slap off the desk, but I mean, it's still fairly minimal. It's not, but it's not supposed to sound like a nice SM7B right in front of your face, but so that's what it is. I don't know if you like it or not, but that's kind of what it is.
I tell you, like,
it's nothing major.
Yeah, like with my studio home too. Like if you've ever seen me on a live stream or something like that from my studio at home, it's a completely different setup. Because I have a Rode Procaster dynamic mic with a cloud lift into a DBX 286 channel strip that's set relatively conservatively, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like that's more than fine.
Yeah, it's just for voice and meetings and those things.
When I do video editing stuff, I do almost no audio. Anything at all to it because it's fine going in.
Yeah, well, because you get it close enough to your face where it's just like, okay, it just sounds good already.
It's 6 inches off.
Yeah, there is definitely, in my courses, in the YouTube videos, there is some additional processing I do to my voice when using this microphone. Not a lot, just a little. But it's 85% of the way there. The only way I could get around this if I wanted to really do, like, I have one. I have the headset mic, which I like, but sometimes it's a pain in the ass to put it on, or a lav. But I don't like having the lav and then having the wire. And
I can say in all honesty,
it gets caught on my chair and all that other crap.
I can say in all honesty, for somebody who's listened to your videos for 10 years now, this is no better, no worse than anything else you do.
I've never had a single person ever send me a message and say your voice sounds like shit.
Your audio sucks.
Never.
No, it doesn't happen. So,
never. So it's acceptable enough for what I'm doing. But it could.
Sure.
But to be better, you would want something closer to you, obviously.
Yeah.
I think why some people mixed with a limiter to check the volume of reverbs and delays.
Maybe.
They come up in volume when mastered quite a bit, so I think it's a good way to check. Theoretically, that sounds okay.
Theoretically, but
I don't do that. But
once you get experience enough as a mixing engineer, you don't need to do that because you know where you're at. You know what I mean? Like and besides that, like because like when I mix, there's a ton of reverb on my mixes. There's everything's done through a reverb. There's reverb everywhere on my mix, but you can't hear it.
Right, it's felt. It's not
felt,
heard.
not heard.
Right.
Because you're doing everything. You're doing all of that in parallel.
Right.
Like there's not a single track in my mix that there has a reverb directly on it. Everything is done parallel sense. So then you're just mixing it in until you get the effect you want from it, and then you walk away from it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad way to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah, I
did it
mean,
that way.
I do have a limiter on my mix bus, but it's basically just to keep it from peaking out. And like if I see that the limiter is peaking, I'll pull the mix back.
Yeah.
You know. So
YouTube
is doing so much to
they've always done
videos
that.
now.
I think people just are used to it. It's just people are
people
just
don't
acceptable, and as long as the audio is acceptable,
Yep.
Then it's okay. I mean, I've watched lots of real popular YouTube channels where they do voiceover. They're doing talking head videos, and there's a lot of room echo in the room.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
You get used to it.
You get used to it.
Once you're a couple minutes into a video, the room sound is it's part of the video. You just move on. Your brain processes it, and you move on.
Unless it's really badly recorded.
But that's what they do say too. Is like people, channels with really bad audio don't last because people won't watch the videos.
Yeah, right. The audio is actually more important than the video.
Video quality is not as important as audio quality.
But audio quality today is so easy to get.
Yeah, even the audio you get off an iPhone.
If you get one of those little, what are the little Rode clippy microphones?
Yeah,
you can put those on.
Actually, there's a company out there called Hollyland. They make one, and they're like really inexpensive, but I have a set. They sound really good.
Yeah,
they're shockingly good for something you're getting for not a lot of money.
Yeah, so getting good audio today isn't that difficult.
It's not a challenge.
Not that difficult.
It's not at all of a challenge to get decent audio today.
All right, we're down to the bottom of the chat again. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. Appreciate that. He went live only because I wanted to.
That's true.
He did not want to do this. Like, I don't want to go. I said, "Oh, fine. If you want to go live, we'll go live.
We'll do it. It's okay."
Yeah.
You got a reverb addiction? That's okay.
Then you need to go to Reverbs Anonymous.
You need to go to Reverbs Anonymous
and work on that and work through the 12-step program.
That's right.
Admitting you have a problem is the first step towards recovery.
Right.
But eventually you're going to have to make amends. I don't know how you're going to do that.
Reverb is cool.
Yeah.
As long as it's not overused.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, for whatever that's worth.
But you need reverb on a mix. Like, you can't have a mix without reverb because it's space. It's putting things in spaces. I mean, like, unless
depends on the recording.
Yeah, unless you want just a dry in your face.
Or if the recording has natural reverb in it, depending on what's recorded.
Yeah, but I haven't heard very many natural room sounds that
depends on the recording.
Good,
like drums, a lot of times the only reverb I'll put reverb, not always, but a lot of times, a tiny bit on the snare. Usually I let the room mics, if they're recorded well, that is the reverb.
Yeah. My problem with it is like
sometimes, not all the time.
For most of the mixes I've done, I've had very, very few room mics that I've liked. I mean, I almost every mix I do, I'm making my own room.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah. So maybe not
I'll tell you that
recordings.
As much as I slag on Universe on UA, that frickin' Sound City
is awesome.
Holy, did they knock it out of the ballpark with that plugin?
That is great.
I was like, I mean, so I send all the close mics and overheads to that. I make my own room.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's a really nice plugin.
I'll take your crappy room sounds out, throw them away. I'll just make my own room and go that way.
Yeah, then that is the reverb.
Yeah. So, but I said, yeah. Much as I hate to praise UA, I
love UA.
Yeah, this is where you and I fall apart. But yeah, as much as I hate to praise UA, that freaking plugin is just if you don't have it, go get it. That's a must-have.
It's an awesome plugin.
Have you tried the Fatso is.
And by the way, if you want to see it in action, go on Home Recording Made Easy. I'm in the middle of publishing the Universal Audio Mix series, where I'm doing 5-part series mixing all with Universal Audio plugins. And in the drum video,
I was ignoring that.
And in the drum video, in the drum part 1 video, we use the Universal Audio Sound City plugin on the rooms, just like you said.
I'm sitting at work the other day when when you upload that video, like, oh look, Dave's doing a UA mix.
So go watch that video series if you want to see it in action.
Yeah.
Have you tried the
Fatso?
I've never tried
I've never owned one. I've had one in my possession for a very short period of time.
That's the
big round ribbon mic.
No, tried Fatso. Isn't that? No, that's the you're talking about the Imperial Labs. The
Empirical Labs plugin. Which one are you talking about, Wooden Doors? Are you talking about the mic or are you talking about the plugin?
Oh, maybe is there a mic called the Fatso?
Yeah, there is a Fatso mic.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, you got to clarify. You got
to clarify what's Fatso.
I'm thinking about the tape
and by the way,
emulator.
don't call me names.
I'm thinking of the tape emulator, the same company that makes the Distressor.
Yeah, by the way, don't call me names. So,
but
clarify, please.
Clarify what you're talking about.
I've seen mixes use only reverse to replace. Yes, because especially in the realm of early reflection, a delay is better than a reverb for early reflection.
Okay.
To me, depending on the source. If it's especially like if it's a high transient source like drums or acoustic guitar, short delay with like
quick slapback,
is actually better for early reflection than a reverb is. Just for some reason it is. I don't know why.
Okay.
So yeah, you can use a delay in place of reverb. My thing with it is like if you try to use the delay and replace it with the reverb and get like a big reverb sound, it doesn't work as well as a reverb. Even though a reverb is just a delay.
Right.
A specific delay algorithm. To me, using a delay plugin to do reverb, I would rather use a reverb plugin, except for early reflection stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So,
any other things you want to chat about before we head out of here?
But I got
speak now.
I got a 2-hour drive home through the most unbelievable holiday traffic you've ever seen in your life.
But we do appreciate everybody showing up.
I'm not looking forward to it.
How many people are even watching? Do you have any idea?
We had 12 at one point. I don't know how many we have.
Lovely. 19?
Wow, we got 19?
Wow.
Why is the chat so quiet when we got 19 people in there?
Well, that's not that quiet.
That's quiet enough.
People are asking questions.
We're at the bottom.
We're at the bottom of the list. Usually takes a while to get to the bottom of the list.
That's what I'm saying.
Usually takes a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope everyone has a good holiday weekend. Maybe
that's
why.
It's Labor Day.
Yeah. So I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend.
Same here.
Again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel here, a lot of new names today. Let's go start binge watching this weekend.
Yeah.
Some of the videos if you want to know everything we've talked about today. There's a video.
You can go watch two fat guys crawl on the floor for hours plugging stuff in. Console install.
Yeah,
those are a lot of fun. There's a 6-hour plus live stream on there of two fat guys plugging stuff in. Fatso compression, yeah.
That's the Empirical Labs.
That's the Empirical Labs.
Yeah.
I have the plugin.
I have the plugin. I've used it a few times. That was cool. Yeah, I've never used the hardware. Just because I have no need for it.
Yeah.
But I love their distressors. I have a pair of those. So if it's anything like their distressors, meaning in the quality and the sound of them, I'm sure it's awesome. But I've never tried one personally.
I'm not sure if I have the Fatso in UA. I have the Fatso in Soft Tube.
Oh, they make that too?
Yeah, they make it too. So,
okay.
But I'm not.
I have the UA one.
I can't really think of any instances where I've used it and went, wow, that's freaking awesome. So no, I really can't speak to it either way. So,
yeah, I'm sure it's great, but I couldn't tell you. And I don't know who makes a Fatso microphone.
I forget the name of the company, but there's a Fatso mic. It's a round, like a big lollipop ribbon mic.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually really cool. It's a really cool ribbon mic.
I didn't know that.
It's really good for if you want to open up the top end on something.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll do the job.
Nice.
It'll do the job well too. They're not cheap, but it does a thing. But again, it's a ribbon mic, so you got to be really careful with it.
I'll have to look that up. I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, going once, going twice.
Sold.
For any last questions, and then we're going to head on out of here so Dave can beat the traffic going home.
There's no beating that traffic.
And
there's no beating that traffic.
Go sit in that traffic on the way home.
That's what I'm up for. Yeah.
And make sure you like, share, subscribe. Go to Home Recording Made Easy, the YouTube channel. If you don't know and you're new here, I have another YouTube channel.
Home Recording Made Easy.
Home Recording Made Easy.
HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com.
All that stuff is there if you want to go check out.
We have a very exciting course coming out.
A lot of good courses already there. A lot of good courses that are coming out.
Yep.
Mixing, recording, all kinds of stuff.
There's a songwriting course coming
soon. Coming soon. You'll see it on the Home Recording Made Easy website. The web page is open.
I was honored to be an evaluator for that course.
You're in it.
And it was fucking amazing.
It's a great course. Hopefully people are going to dig it. That's coming out in September. September 10th, I think it's coming out.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to that.
The biggest thing you guys have ever done. The biggest thing you've ever done.
Yeah, it's a big course for sure.
Yep.
All right, everybody. So let's see. Hard purple.
Hand purple blue piece. I don't know what that means. Thanks, pal.
All right, man. You guys all have a great weekend.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
We'll see you soon.